He bandaged the wounded alien Empress. Never guessing she was the galaxy's supreme warrior, Eli Mercer drove his plasma torch into the smoking escape pod's hatch. Sparks flew. Metal hissed and peeled back like burnt flesh. He yanked the panel free. Inside, an armored alien woman slumped against the restraints. Her chest plate gaped open from shrapnel. Purple blood bubbled from a sucking wound. Her helmet's visor cracked, eyes half-lidded behind it. Eli unclipped her straps. "Hang on." He dragged her out by the shoulders. Her armor scraped the debris-strewn ground. Blaster fire cracked overhead. Enemy patrols closing in. He hauled her behind a shattered bulkhead. Cover. Safe for now. Her breathing rasped, wet and shallow. Eli dropped his medkit and ripped it open, chest wound first. He peeled back her armor plates. Ribs showed through torn muscle. Lung punctured. Eli squeezed gel foam from the canister. It foamed white, expanding into the cavity, sealed the breach. Her breath steadied a fraction. Arterial bleed next. Blood pulsed from a severed vessel in her side. Eli clamped field staples across it. Click, click. 12 in 10 seconds. Stemmed the flow. He injected nanocoagulant into her neck port, universal fit for most species. She stirred. Clawed hand gripped his wrist. Strong, too strong for blood loss. Eli froze. Her visor cleared. Golden eyes locked on his. Recognition flickered. "You're her," he whispered. Empress Caliph Voss, most wanted in the galaxy. Threx's broadcasts plastered her face everywhere. Crash pod from her flagship. Assassination attempt. Blaster bolts pinged off the bulkhead. Closer. Captain Juno Rake's voice crackled in Eli's earpiece. "Medic, authorities inbound." Threx's fleet locked the sector. "Evac now?" "No." Eli thumbed the radio blocker on his wrist gauntlet. "Signal dead." "Silent extraction, Juno. Plot evasive to the relief lane. No chatter."
"Copy that? You're blocking."
"Trust me. She's priority." Eli cut the line. Calith's grip tightened. Pain twisted her features, but her voice rasped clear. "Human. You know me." Eli nodded. Packed more gel foam around the staples. "Empress. Stay still." Her laugh gurgled blood. Incognito failed. She forced his wrist closer. Claws pricked skin. "Swear it." No report. No authorities. Eli met her gaze. Blaster fire intensified. Drones hummed nearby. "I treat first. Questions later." "Swear." She released him. Eyes narrowed. Testing. Eli sealed the last staple. "Juno, spool engines. Cover incoming." "Affirm." Hostiles at 200 meters. Eli hoisted Caliph over his shoulder. Her weight pressed heavy. Warrior build. Dense muscle. He sprinted for the shuttle ramp. Blasts scorched the ground behind. Juno's shuttle idled. Ramp down. She leaned out, pistol barking at shadows. "Get in!" Eli dumped Caliph inside. Ramp whined shut. Acceleration slammed them into seats as Juno punched throttles. Pursuit drones swarmed the viewport. Juno jinked hard. "Strapper, point defense hot." Eli secured Caliph to the med berth. Monitored vitals. Heart steadying. Nano working. Caliph's hand found his again. Weaker now. Why block the call? Bounty hunters would pay. Eli adjusted the oxygen feed. "You're a patient, not a headline." Her eyes widened fractionally. Aliens prized hierarchy. Warriors above healers. Humans? They patched anyone. Shuttle shuddered. Missile lock tone wailed. Juno whooped. "Evasive." Flares away. Explosions bloomed outside. Praetor Saren Cade's voice burst through on a tight beam. "Shuttle relief. 7. This is Voss Loyalist Command. You hold the Empress. Transmit cords, or we fire." Eli glanced at Caliph. She shook her head. "Mute." "Negative," Eli replied. "She's stable. Medical evac only." "No coordinates." Kade snarled. "Human worm. Surrender her, or burn." Caliph tapped Eli's gauntlet, activated her own subvocal. "Praetor. Stand down. The human saves me." "Silence." Then, "Empress." Identity confirmed. Course locked. Juno banked toward the signal. "Loyalists? We're clear of Threx's net." Eli checked seals, wound holding, but infection risk high. He prepped broad-spectrum antivirals, human stock, tweaked for xenofizz. Caliph watched. "Your phone?" "Staples, faster than Voron medics." Fieldwork. Eli shrugged. We improvise. Her gaze sharpened. Threx's blade pierced armor meant for plasma. Traitor in my guard. Eli nodded. Injected the antivirals. Rest. We'll get you to your people. Shuttle docked with the Loyalist corvette. Ramp open to armored warriors. Praetor Katie stormed in. Plasma rifle leveled. Scaled face twisted in suspicion. Human. Step away. Eli stood ground. Treatment ongoing. Cade's eyes flicked to Caliph, bowed sharp. My liege, Archon Threx rallies usurper fleets. We must move. Caliph sat up. Grip on Eli's arm lingered. This human blocked authorities. Saved me, silent, he stays. Kade bristled. A relief shuttle medic? Untrained, competent. Caliph cut him. Stood, testing legs, steady. Name? Ellie Mercer. Eli Mercer comes with us. His skill turns the tide. Warriors muttered. Humans as soft traitors, not warriors, but Caliph's word bound them. Juno saluted. Captain Rake reporting. Shuttle yours. Kate eyed her. Pilots too? Fine. Bridge. Corvette thrummed to life. Alarms blared. Trex's vanguard closing. Eli followed Caliph to the command deck. Medkit slung. Warriors parted. Trex's fleet dotted the hollow screen. Cruisers massed. Loyalists outnumbered 3-1. Kade barked orders. Evasive to rally point. Empress, your command? Caliph studied Eli. Human, your compassion hid me. Now, competence. What else? Eli scanned the wound read out. Infection vector from shrapnel. Voran alloy. Your species? She nodded. Need a sample. Can synthesize counter. Warriors scoffed. Healers don't fight. Caliph silenced them. Show them. Eli worked fast. Scanner hummed. Analyzed alloy trace in her blood. Cross-referenced human database. Wage match inject now or sepsis in hours. Kade growled. Risky. Do it. Caliph bared arm. Eli plunged the needle. Custom phage deployed. Her vitals spiked green. Threx's lead cruiser locked weapons. Caliph straightened. Full warrior poise returned. Transmit to fleet. Empress lives. Rally. Signals burst. Loyalist ships warped in. Dozens. But Threx fired first. Beams lanced. Corvette bucked. Hull breach. Medics to sections, Cade yelled. Eli grabbed Kit. On it. He triaged corridors. Sealed burns with foam. Staples for gashes. Humans trained for chaos. Multi-species wars back home. Warriors stared. He moves like us. Caliph gripped his shoulder amid the smoke. You swore silence. Now you fight with us. Eli nodded. Patience alive. Job's not done. Threx fleet faltered. Loyalists pressed. Archon's cruiser cracked under mast fire. Caliph's voice boomed fleet-wide. For the Voss, the human proves alliance. Cheers echoed. Eli staunched another bleed. Caliph's eyes met his. Trust forged in blood and staples. But Threx's escape pod launched. Signal beacon active. War not over. Caliph leaned close. You hid my identity. I reveal yours to the galaxy. Medic Mercer. Warrior healer. Join us? Eli sealed the last wound, if it saves lives. Her claws clasped his hand. Alliance born. War turned. Eli Mercer jabbed the sedative hypo into Caliph's thigh. Her scaled body jerked once, then slumped against the medcot. He yanked open his kit. Restraints first. Quick magnetic cuffs snapped around her wrists and ankles. She outweighed him by 50 kilos. Warrior built, but the cot held. Blood seeped from the gash across her abdomen. Enemy blades had carved deep during the ambush. Shuttle bucked. Captain Juno Rake dodged another missile lock. Strap in, Doc! Juno yelled from the cockpit. Threx's patrols are swarming! Working. Eli peeled back her armored vest. Purple blood welled. Human meds might kill her. He needed vitals first. Portable monitor unspooled from his pack. He slapped adhesive pads to her chest, neck, temple. Wires snaked to the wrist display. Alien physiology flashed. Heart analog at 180. Pressure spiking. Internal bleed confirmed. Green light. Tracking stable. Caliph's eyes snapped open. Claws scraped metal. Human. Remove these restraints. Eli taped the last sensor. Not yet. You're bleeding inside. Move wrong. You rupture. Her golden eyes narrowed. Fangs bared in a hiss. Restraints weren't chains. They offended her. She twisted, testing seams. Cott groaned. Captain Rake picked you from the wreck, Eli said. Found you fighting off 3 of Threx's grunts. Impressive. But now, you listen. Juno's voice crackled. Patrol inbound. 2 minutes. Hang tight. Calith strained, muscles corded under iridescent scales. I am no invalid. Release me or you die mid-sentence. Eli held up the monitor. Red pulse throbbed. See that? Your secondary lungs flooding? 1 cough. It's over. She froze, stared at the display. Warrior pride warred with pain. Sweat beaded her brow ridges. Eli leaned close. Calm voice, like triaging blast victims back on Terra. Bargain. Comply for 2 minutes. Controlled breaths. Prove you can stabilize. I loosen 1 cuff. Her laugh grated. You command me? Treat first. Questions later. He pressed gloved fingers to her abdomen. Swell pulsed under skin. Breathe with me, in slow. Hold, out slower. Calith glared, but red pulse flickered. She inhaled. Chest rose measured. Held. Exhaled. Monitor dipped yellow. Good. Eli nodded. Again. Deeper. She matched him. The scales flushed deeper blue. Pride demanded perfection. Second breath steadied. Yellow held. 1 more. Green edged in. Eli checked the wound. Seep slowed, quadding. Internal pressure dropping. Her eyes locked his. Not gratitude. Assessment. You know our vitals. How? Human database. Relief missions catalog everything. He unclipped her right wrist cuff. 1 down. Stay still for the rest. Shuttle lurched. Alarms wailed. Incoming scan, Juno barked. Threx patrol, point blank. Kill all power. Eli's gaze hit the pod wall. Royal insignia gleamed. Voss crest, gold embossed. Escape pod from her Corvette. If scanners pinged that, they'd vaporize them. No time. He ripped his mid-scanner's thermal cloak from the kit. Slapped it over the crest. Fabric hummed, masking the alloy signature. Scan beam hit the hull. Lights dimmed. Monitor flickered. Caliph tensed. Claws flexed free hand. They find us. Quiet. Eli held breath. Scan crawled. Seconds stretched. Clear tone beeped. Patrol veered off. Juno whooped. We're ghosts. Punching to rally point. Eli exhaled. Reclipped cuff. Told you. Compliance works. Calith's lips curled. Not smile. Respect. Deceptive human. You hid the mark. Job's keeping you alive. He scanned her wound. Bleed stopped. But infection markers climbed. Phage risk now. Need sample. She watched him work. No more demands. Shuttle hummed steady. Minutes passed. Ellie cultured a blood drop. Database pinged matches. Page confirmed. Custom human strain. Threx's bioweapon. Her scales paled. Inject. Risky. But database has counters. Eli loaded the counterphage vial. Terra Labs engineered it for multi-species plagues. Praetor Serencati burst from the aft hatch. Armored. Pistol drawn. Status. Eli glanced up. Kade's eyes flicked between them, suspicion sharp. Stable, Eli said. Phage deploying. Cade growled. Human medtech on Voss blood? Risky. Caliph bared her arm. Do it. Eli plunged the needle. Vitals spiked. Green surged. Cade holstered, nodded once. She lives. Fleet inbound. Shuttle shuddered. Weapons lock screamed. Threx's lead cruiser filled the viewport. Beams charged. Caliph straightened. Restraints snapped free. Eli had released them mid-scan. Full warrior poise returned, and press lives rally. Signals first. Loyalist ships warped in, dozens. Threx fired first. Beams lanced. Corvette bucked. Hull breach. Medics to sections, Cody yelled. Eli grabbed Kit, on it. He triaged corridors, sealed burns with foam. Staples for gashes. Humans trained for chaos. Multi-species wars back home. Warriors stared. He moves like us. Calith gripped his shoulder amid the smoke. You swore silence. Now you fight with us. Eli nodded. Patience alive. Job's not done. Threx's fleet faltered. Loyalists pressed. Archon's cruiser cracked under massed fire. Calith's voice boomed fleet-wide. "For the Voss!" The human proves alliance. Cheers echoed. Eli staunched another bleed. Calith's eyes met his. Trust, forged in blood and staples. Threx's escape pod launched. Signal beacon active. War not over. Calith leaned close. "You hid my identity. I reveal yours. To the galaxy. Medic Mercer, warrior healer. Join us." Eli sealed the last wound. "If it saves lives." Her claws clasped his hand. Alliance born. War turned. But beacons pulsed. Threx rallied shadows. Eli repacked his kit. One more patient waited in the hold. A loyalist grunt, gut shot. Caliph shadowed him. "Your breaths saved me. Teach the fleet." He knelt by the grunt. "Watch." Scalpel flashed. Clamp. Suture. Grunt gasped awake. Empress human. Rest. Eli taped gauze. Vitals green. Kade approached. Threx vectors in. Blockade forms. Calith's claws tightened on Eli's shoulder. "Mercer flies with us now. His competence turns the tide." Eli stood. Wiped blood. Humans fixed what broke. Aliens fought like storms. Together, shuttle engines thrummed. Fleet formed wedge. Juno grinned from cockpit. "Strap in, Doc. We're hunting." Eli nodded. Compassion bridged species. Competence won wars. Threx's beacon flared. Incoming salvo. Calith drew blade. For alliance. Eli primed medfoam. Battle joined. Loyalists charged. Human hands steadied the line. Threx's shadows crumbled. One ship cracked. Another vented atmo. Eli patched a pilot mid-dogfight. Breathe controlled. Hold. Pilot nodded. Fired. Kill confirmed. Calith roared victory. "See the human way," fleet echoed. War shifted. But Threx's core cruiser worked away. Promise of return. Eli met her gaze. Job's not done. Her claws gripped firm. Never alone now. Alliance sealed in fire. Galaxy watched. Eli's monitor beeped. Next wound waited. He moved. Competence flowed. Compassion bound. War turned for good. Shuttle dove into fray. Humans led medbays. Aliens led spears. Victory built step by bloody step. Threx's remnants scattered. Loyalist cheers drowned stars. Calith clasped Eli's hand again. "Warrior healer. Galaxy knows your name." He smiled faint. "Just saving lives." Her eyes gleamed. Trust absolute. Fleet warped home. Alliance unbreakable, but whispers lingered. Threx plotted. Eli checked vitals. Ready for more. Human compassion changed everything. Competence sealed it. War's tide broke. New era dawned. Praetor Serencade slammed her boot against the medbay bulkhead. The door buckled. Her squad poured in behind her, rifles up, claws clicking on deck plates. Red targeting lasers danced across Eli Mercer's workstation. Eli didn't flinch. He sealed the hypospray vial and pressed it to the wounded alien's neck. The figure on the gurney, cloaked in bandages and a breather mask, winced, but held still. Eli's patient. Priority 1. "Step away from her, human," Kared barked, her voice cut like shattered crystal, mandibles flaring. The Praetor's scales gleamed under emergency lights, scarred from 100 boarding actions. Her squad fanned out, blocking the exit. 5 warriors, armored in void black plate, eyes locked on Eli. Eli raised his hands slow. Empty palms faced them. His clipboard hung from his belt, loaded with the manifest he'd forged mid-evac. Easy. "She's stable. Civilian. Casual." He kept his voice level, like talking down a panicked recruit. Cade advanced. Rifle muzzle hovered inches from Ellie's chest. Lies. Sensors pinged a royal transponder. Empress's frequency. Her squad growled assent, fingers tightening on triggers. The air thickened with ozone from charged weapons. Eli stepped sideways. He planted himself between Cade's rifle and the gurney. The wounded alien's eyes flicked open behind the mask, sharp golden slits. She coughed wetly, slumped deeper into the foam padding. A weak gesture. One clawed finger tapped her chest twice. "Keep talking." Check the manifest. Eli unclipped the board and slid it across the console. Hollow display flickered to life. Forged entry scrolled. Patient 04. Shrapnel wounds. No ID chip. Civilian relief logs from the outer rim skirmish. Timestamps matched the shuttle's black box, quarantine case, viral bleed from Threx's chem bombs. You breach, you spread it. Kade snatched the board, her eyes narrowed, scanning the data. Squad rifles twitched toward the gurney. One warrior lunged forward, claws extended to rip the mask free. Eli blocked him with an elbow. Not hard. Just enough contact. Touch her, you void her squad. The warrior snarled, but froze. Eli met Cade's gaze. Protocols clear. Human med shuttle regs. Cross-contaminate, and your fleet's med bays light up. From the cockpit intercom, Juno Rake's voice crackled. Praetor, incoming chatter. Trex pickets 2 clicks out. We jump or fight. Kate had ignored her. She thrust the clipboard back. This reeks of forgery. Humans don't run relief in war zones. You're spies. Her rifle swung toward the gurney. Unmask her, now. The patient wheezed louder. Her hand trembled, clutching the sheet. But those golden eyes locked on Eli's. Another signal. Thumb up, subtle. Stall. Eli nodded once, imperceptible. He tapped his wristcom. Manifest verified, activating quarantine field. Alarms blared, medbay vents hissed. Ninite fog billowed from ceiling nozzles, harmless to organics, but it gummed alien sensors and choked breather filters. Kade coughed. Her squad staggered back, rifles dipping. Deactivate. That's an order. Can't. Auto-trigger unarmed breach. Eli edged toward the gurney controls. He adjusted the IV drip, buying seconds. Compassion surged. This alien had fought beside Juno to drag him from debris earlier. Warrior build under the bandages, but she'd collapsed mid-evac. No time for scans then. She's burning up. Needs 30 minutes. Your call, Praetor. A squad warrior retched, clawing at his visor. Fog thickened, visibility dropping to arm's length. Katie fired a warning bolt into the deck. It sizzled, leaving a scorch mark. Stand down, medic. Eli didn't budge. He primed a second hypo, sedative, labeled as antiviral. Shoot me, you kill your lead on Threx. She saw his codes, whispered them before flatlining almost. Lie layered on lie, but his voice stayed steady. Humans fixed problems. Aliens charged them. Kade hesitated. Her mandibles clicked. Calculation. Outside, shuttle thrusters whined. Juno's voice cut in. Praetor. Threx corvettes locking. Weapons hot. The Praetor snarled. Fall back. Secure the lock. Her squad retreated, coughing through the fog. Cade lingered, rifle trained on Eli. If she's royal blood, human, you die slow. She slammed the door seal. Boots thudded away. Eli exhaled. Fog cleared slow. He checked the gurney vitals. Heart rate steady. The alien pulled off her mask. No weakness now. Empress Kylith Voss sat up, bandages peeling away like shed skin. Her scales shimmered imperial gold, unmarked by wounds. Lethal grace uncoiled as she swung legs off the gurney. You forged that manifest flawlessly. Her voice purred low thunder, claws retracted smooth, and the fog, brilliant. No warrior thinks of plagues in battle. Eli handed her a stim pack. Treat first, questions later. He scanned her anyway, clean, no shrapnel. She'd played dead to test him. Kalith flexed her arm, blade emerging from a hidden gauntlet. Rio's Threx's usurpers board loyalist hulls now. Cade's loyal, the paranoia blinds her. She measures trust in blood. Golden eyes pierced him. You shielded me. Why? Job. Eli restocked his tray. Shuttle shuddered. Dodge maneuver. Juno whooped over comms. Got one. Pickets scattering. Kylith rose full height, towering yet poised. Humans, healers who stand like spears. She clasped his shoulder, firm. Electric through his glove. My fleet rallies. Join us. Threx dies today. Eli glanced at monitors. Incoming signatures bloomed, loyalist wedge forming. Threx's beacon pulsed coreward. Juno's got the vector. Patch your pilots first. Kalith's laugh echoed, fierce. Warrior healer. She strode to the door panel, overriding the quarantine. It hissed open. Cade's squad milled outside. Visors clearing. Praetor Cade whirled, rifle snapping up. Empress! Caliph stepped out, blade drawn. Stand down, Saren. The human saved us both. Cade's mandibles dropped. She lowered her weapon, Squad knelt, murmurs rippling. Your radiance. Incognito? To test true steel. Caliph nodded to Eli. He proved it, without a blade. Eli followed, clipboard in hand. Juno's voice boomed. Doc, fleet's here. Strap in. We're point. Shuttle engines roared. Eli buckled into the jump seat beside Caliph. Her claw gripped the armrest near his. Trust solidified. Rex's salvo lit the void. Missiles streaked. Loyalist spears. Fighter swarms. Countered. Eli's medbay prepped for influx. Caliph leaned close. Your compassion binds us. Competence wins this. A Corvette cracked open, venting crew. Eli primed medfoam. Incoming wounded. Prioritize pilots. Cade barked orders from the hatch. Her eyes met Eli's. Suspicion burned to respect. Human, cover our flank. Juno banked hard. G-forces pinned them. Lasers flashed past viewports. Eli steadied a crashing tray. One downed Loyalist fighter limped alongside, hatch linked. Wounded warrior dragged in, gut shot. Eli knelt. Breathe controlled, old. He sprayed foam, sealed the breach. Warrior gasped, nodded, clutched his stick home. Firing, kill confirmed. Debris bloomed. Caliph roared from the co-pilot nook. See the human way? Fleet echoed. Threx's line buckled, shadows crumbled. One ship vented atmosphere. Another split. But Threx's core cruiser warped out, escape vector clear. Eli wiped blood from hands, met Caliph's gaze. Job's not done. Her claws gripped his forearm. Never alone now. Alliance sealed. Shuttle dove deeper. Humans led medbays. Aliens led charges. Victory built. Loyalist cheers drowned the stars. Yet shuttle sensors pinged faint. Threx's whisper signal lingered. Eli checked his pack. Next wound waited. In the medbay glow, Caliph sheathed her blade. Galaxy knows your name, Eli Mercer. He smiled faint. Just saving lives. Her eyes gleamed Eli's scalpel. Fashioned from a galley knife, bit into Caliph's scaled hide. The shuttle lurched. Alarms wailed. Juno's voice crackled over comms. Pursued corvettes closing. Strap in or get flung. He ignored it. Blood welled, alien purple and thick. Caliph gripped the table edge. Her claws gouged steel. Eli pinned her flank with his knee. Steady. Fragments barbed. One pull shreds your spine. She hissed through clenched fangs. Do it, human. Galley first. He'd cleared it minutes ago. Flipped the table flat. Dragged in medkit scraps. Booted the emergency heater. A camping rig from stores. Flames roared blue under a pot of boiling water. He dunked tools. Fork prongs for retractors. Spoon handle sharpened to probe. Steam fogged his visor. Shuttle bucked again. A pot clattered. Hot water splashed his boot. He cursed. Reset it. Autopilots locked. Juno yelled from the cockpit. Threx's hack. We're fish in a barrel. Kayla's eyes snapped open. Pain glazed them gold. Debris field ahead. Asteroid cluster. Vector 247 Mark 12. Dive through. Ambush there. Threx's pickets. Eli glanced up. Sensors blinked red on the bulkhead screen. 3 blips tailed them, closing fast. He nodded to her. Juno.
Course change. 247 by 12.
Debris dive. Copy that. Autopilot. Override coming. Eli wiped sweat. His free hand flew to the panel. Field medic hack. Jury rig bypass. He yanked a wire cluster. Hot swapped a lockout chip with a med scanner relay. Green light flickered. Manual control live. Juno whooped. You're a wizard, Doc. Doc. Diving now. G-forces slammed. Eli braced one-handed. Scalpel dove deeper. Barbed shard glinted, thorn-like, from Threx's railgun rounds. It hooked her dorsal plate inches from the spine nerve bundle. Pressure bleed pulsed beneath. One wrong twist and she'd bleed out in seconds. Captain Rake, Praetor Cade barked from the hatchway. Her warrior frame filled it, rifle slung. Suspicion etched her frills. Empress's orders? From a human? Caliph snarled. Trust his hands, Saren. They saved my core guard. Eli tuned them out. Retractor prongs spread flesh. He snagged the barb with the spoon hook. Twisted slow. It resisted. Fibers snapping. Blood sprayed his gloves. He clamped a torn artery with thumb and finger. Foam. Now. A loyalist warrior tossed the canister. Eli sprayed. White foam expanded, sealing the gush. Barb yanked free. Clink. Into the boil pot. He stitched fast. Med thread from his pack. Needle from a safety pin. Scales knit under his pulls. Shuttle shuddered. Debris pinged hull. Juno's laugh echoed. Threading the needle. Lost one tail. Laser fire rattled. Red beams scorched past viewports. Eli sealed the wound. Packed it tight. Done. Lie still. Caliph pushed up. Muscles rippled under fresh scar. She tested her claws, flexed her tail. No limp. You wield kitchen steel like a chirurgeon's blade. Her gaze locked his. Claws brushed his wrist. Not threat. Anchor. Threx underestimates. Again. Sensors cleared. Debris field spat them out. 2 pursuers trailed wreckage. Third warped away, trailing fire. Cotty stepped closer. Frills relaxed a fraction. She scanned Eli's work. Spine intact. Bleed stopped. Human, you breach our physiology without scans? Practice. Eli stripped gloves. Tossed bloody rags into the recycler. Seen worse on colony worlds. Your blood clots fast. Helped. Juno bank smooth. Rally point in 10. Fleets regrouping. Caliph rose, towered over Eli yet deferred. Pilot to the vanguard vector. Loyalists hold the line. She turned to Cade. Arm the human. He covers medevac. Cade's eyes narrowed. Measured him, then thrust a pulse rifle. Flank guard. Prove it. Eli hefted it. Sighted down. Human standard grip. Alien power cell. Priorities wounded first. Shuttle accelerated. Stars streaked. Caliph leaned in, voice low. Threx cruiser fled coreward. He rallies usurpers at the Nexus Gate. Cut him there. War ends. Eli nodded. Checked his pack. Phone low. Threads gone. Galley tools bent. More wounded inbound. Prep bunks. Alarms pinged anew. Faint signal. Trex's whisper. Cade snarled. Trap beacon. He's calling reinforcements. Juno swore. Evasive. Vector confirmed. Caliph cut in. Push through. My fleet converges. Eli moved. Dragged a second table. Boiled fresh tools. Wounded piled in. Loyalist pilots. Got shot and burned. He triaged. This one critical. Phone and clamp. A warrior clutched his side. Gasped alien curses. Eli sprayed. Sealed. Breathe. Fight later. Cade watched. Rifle ready. You're calm. Unnerves. Job demands it. Eli worked. Shuttle rocked under fresh pursuit. Lasers grazed shields. Caliph took co-pilot. Claws danced controls. Juno, match my lead. Flank weave. Humans and aliens synced. Eli patched a frill-necked gunner. Foam hissed. Gunner gripped his comm. Mark. Eli's voice steady. Debris bloomed outside. Cheers erupted. But Threx's signal strengthened. Sensors lit. Fleet ambush inbound, Cade growled. Caliph's fangs bared. We turn it. Eli, your medbay leads the charge. Wounded fight under you. He paused, mid-stitch. Met her eyes. Gold fire. Trust forged in blood. Alliance holds. Shuttle dove. Pursuit thickened. Eli primed next foam. A downed fighter linked hatches. Wounded dragged aboard. He knelt. Hold, I've got you. Kade covered the breach, blasted a boarding drone. Human competence, extraordinary. Lasers flashed, hull groaned. Eli sealed another wound. Warrior rose, rifle up. For the Empress and Mercer. Loyalist roars shook the deck. Threx's line cracked. One corvette vented, another spun. Yet the whisper signal pulsed. Threx's core cruiser ghosted on scopes. Rallying, Eli wiped hands. Grabbed rifle, next wave. Caliph's claw gripped his shoulder. Together. Shuttle plunged into the fray. Medbay became command. Humans mended. Aliens struck. Victory edged closer. Sensors screamed. Threx's ambush fleet warped in. Dozens strong. Juno yelled. All hands. Caliph roared. Form on the human. We break them. Eli sighted through viewport. Heart steady. Compassion fueled competence. War turned. A loyalist crumpled beside him.
Shrapnel in throat.
Eli dropped. Foam out. Not today. Cade fired over him. He saves while we kill. This is the human way. Debris fields choked space. Shuttle weaved. Eli rose. Rifle barked. Drone shredded. Calith's blade flashed, dispatching a boarder. She nodded to him. Your steel first. Ours follows. Pursuit closed. Lasers seared. Shields flickered at 20%. Override incoming, Eli called. Hacked nav again. Plotted debris salam. Dive pattern alpha. Juno punched it. G's crushed. Eli braced a patient. Stitched mid-spin. One tail exploded. Cheers. Trex's voice crackled open comms. Empress hides with pets. Surrender. Calith laughed. Pets end you. Eli patched the last pilot. Warrior stood. To the breach. Hatches linked fleet-wide. Medevac chain formed. Humans at core. Mending unbreakable. Rex fleet buckled. Ships vented. Warlords warped out, but his cruiser held. Cannon charged. Calith's eyes met Eli's. One wound left. Eli checked foam. Empty. Grabbed galley knife. Sharpened anew. Lead on. Alliance sealed in fire. Shuttle charged. Stars burned. Victory called. Sensors locked Threx's weak point. Engine bleed from earlier. Hit sparks flew from the hull breach. Threx's raiders had latched on like parasites. Their torches chewed through the shuttle's outer skin, inches from the medbay bulkhead. Eli Mercer gripped the stun injector's arming switch. His patient, Calith, the wounded alien warrior, lay strapped to the table behind him, vitals flickering on the overhead monitor. Plasma burns covered her torso. She needed another 10 minutes for the nanite seal to hold. Alarms blared. Breach in 30. Captain Juno Rake's voice crackled over intercom. Holding course. Get ready, Doc. Eli nodded to himself. He slid the medbay door shut and braced against the corridor bulkhead. Stun injector hummed in his fist. Overcharged for close range. He checked his sidearm. One clip left. Enough. The torch whine peaked. Metal screamed. A fist-sized hole punched through, widening fast. Smoke billowed as Rake vented scrubbers into the gap. Choking gray fog filled the corridor. Raiders poured in. 3 of them. Scaled hides gleaming under breather masks. Claws extended. Pulse rifles swept the haze. Eli fired first. Stun bolt lanced out. Hit the lead raider, square in the chest plate. It convulsed. Dropped. Second raider lunged through smoke. Eli sidestepped. Jammed the injector into its neck. 50,000 volts surged. Raider twitched. Collapsed in a heap. Third one roared. Fired blind. Bolts scorched the wall beside Eli's head. He dove low, rolled, came up firing sidearm. 2 shots center mass. Raider staggered but charged, claws raking air. Footsteps pounded from the bay. Calith. She rose from the table. Nanite foam still oozed from her wounds. Straps snapped under her grip. She snatched the fallen Raider's pulse rifle. No stagger, no wince. The charging Raider met her halfway. Calith sidestepped like water. Rifle butt cracked its skull. Raider spun. She drove an elbow into its throat vents. Cartilage crunched. It gurgled, fell. 2 more breached behind. Calith pivoted. Rifle spat precise bursts. Kneecaps first. Raiders dropped screaming. She closed. Stamped helmets. Cracks echoed. Silence. Eli stared. She moved like a storm contained. Wounds half-healed yet lethal precision. Calith knelt back onto the table. Blood trickled fresh from her side. Finish it, human. Voice steel. Seal the burns. Now. Eli snapped to. Grabbed the dermal regenerator. Hands steady. He worked fast, searing the foam edges, injecting stabilizers. Her eyes locked on his. No fear. Trust. Done. He stepped back. Vitals stabilized. She sat up. Tore off the monitor leads. Good. Juno. Evasive. Plot intercept on Threx's cruiser. Aye, Rake replied. Shuttle shuddered as engines flared. Calith grabbed a raider vest for armor, strapped it over her bandages.
You held the line, medic. Name? Ellie Mercer.
He reloaded his sidearm, offered her a spare clip. She took it. Claws brushed his fingers, gentle. Calith Voss. We rally, my fleet. Threx dies today. Raiders' bodies twitched. Eli stun-zapped the last one, dragged them to the airlock, vented them into vacuum. Clean corridor. Shuttle bucked. Pursuit lasers grazed shields. Eli braced a wall panel. Shields at 60%. Caliph nodded. Access to console. Hacked fleet channels. Loyalists. This is Voss. Form on the human shuttle. Med evac chain. Now. Static crackled. Then voices. Voss lives. Engines hot. Praetor Saren Cade's frigate linked first. Empress. Confirmed position. Confirmed. Caliph's mandibles clicked approval. Humans mend. We strike. Eli patched a gash on his arm from the fight. No time for more. He grabbed a trauma kit, distributed foam grenades to boarding crew prepping hatches. Debris field loomed. Juno wove the shuttle through twisted hulks. Slalom pattern. Hold on! G-forces slammed Eli into his harness. Caliph didn't flinch. She sighted through a viewport. Threx's raiders vectoring. 5 corvettes. Eli checked sensors. Engine bleed on Threx's cruiser glowed red. Weak point from earlier hits. There, port nacelle venting plasma. Calith's eyes narrowed. You see it. Not a question. Trained for it. Eli armed a breaching charge. Field medics spot bleeds. Shuttle shuddered. Corvettes latched. Torches whined again. Eli moved. Stun injector ready. Caliph at his side. Form on the human, she roared to her crew, linking via hatch. Warriors poured in, scaled, clawed, rifles hot, first breach. Raiders cut through. Eli fired into smoke. Dropped 2. Caliph blurred past. Rifle barked. 3 down. A loyalist crumpled beside Eli, shrapnel in throat. Eli dropped to knees. Foam sprayed. Not today. Kade burst through hatch. Fired over Eli's head. He saves while we kill. This is the human way. Eli rose. Sidearm barked, shredded a drone buzzing low. Caliph's blade, snatched from a raider, flashed. Border split open. She nodded to Eli. Your steel first. Ours follows. Debris choked space. Shuttle weaved. Pursuit closed. Lasers seared shields to 20%.
Override incoming, Eli called. He jacked into nav console.
Hacked Threx's targeting lock. Plotted debris slalom. Dive pattern alpha. Juno punched it. G's crushed chests. Eli braced a wounded patient. Stitched a femoral artery mid-spin. Patient gasped. Lived. 1 corvette exploded in the debris maze. Cheers erupted. Threx's voice crackled open comms. Empress hides with pets. Surrender. Caliph laughed. Mandibles flared. Pets end you. Eli patched the last pilot. Warrior stood tall. To the breach. Hatches linked fleet-wide. Med-evac chain formed. Humans at core. Eli directing triage. Juno flying suicide runs. Aliens hammered breaches. Threx's fleet buckled. Ships vented atmosphere. Warlords warped out, but the cruiser held. Cannon charged, glow building. Kayla's eyes met Eli's across the bay. Wounds sealed, but fatigue edged her stance. 1 wound left. His. Eli checked his foam reserves. Empty. Grabbed a galley knife. Sharpened it on a raider boot sole. Lead on. She gripped his shoulder. Claws retracted. Mercy, incompetence. Alliance sealed. Shuttle charged the cruiser. Stars streaked. Victory called. Sensors locked Threx's engine bleed. Eli plotted the final vector. Nacelle hit. Breach there. Juno whooped. On it. Raiders swarmed the final corridor to the bridge. Kade flanked Eli. Human leads. We follow. Eli kicked a hatch. Stunbolt felled the guard. Caliph surged ahead. Blade danced. Raiders fell in sprays of ichor. Threx loomed on the bridge. Hulking frame. Cyber eyes glowing. Voss. Traitor pets die first. Eli dodged a swipe. Injected stun into Threx's leg servos. Warlord staggered. Caliph leaped. Locked claws with him. Your reign ends. They grappled. Threx hurled her into consoles. Sparks flew. Eli flanked. Knife-sliced fuel lines on Threx's arm implant. Flames erupted. Threx bellowed. Swung wild. Eli ducked. Caliph rose. Drove blade through his chest plate. Twist. Out. Threx slumped. Bridge alarms wailed. Caliph stood over the body, bloodied but unbroken. Turned to Eli. You saw the weakness. Saved us seconds. He wiped his knife. Just triage.
Cade knelt. Empress commands.
Fleet rallies. She waved him up, eyed Eli. Reveal. I am Calith Voss, Supreme of the Voss Concord, incognito to test loyalty. Gasps from warriors. Katie bowed low. We knew your fire, not your trial. Eli met her gaze. No bow. Patient first, ruler second. Her mandibles curved. A smile. Human way it wins wars. Fleet Channel's lit boots hammered the deck plates. Praetor Serencade stormed back onto the bridge. 10 Voss warriors in his wake. Their blades gleamed. Rifles swept the room. Eli Mercer tensed. He wiped Threx's ichor from his knife. Caliph stood firm beside him, chest heaving. Katie halted 5 paces out, his eyes locked on Eli. Empress, this human touched the Archon's corpse. He knifed the fuel lines, unknown allegiance. Execute him now. Warriors growled assent. Rifles rose. Eli's pulse stayed even. He palmed the sedative syringe from his medkit. Full dose, enough to drop a Voss berserker. Caliph's mandibles clicked. She eyed Cade, no flinch. Eli stepped forward, held out the syringe, needle glinting. Your call, Empress. Cade snarled. He arms you? Treachery. Warriors advanced. One grabbed Eli's shoulder, claws pricked skin. Caliph snatched the syringe, held it high. Watch. She plunged it into her own thigh, pushed the plunger. Syringe clattered empty to the deck. Eli blinked, no stagger. Her eyes burned brighter. Kade froze. Warriors halted. Proof. Caliph said. Human sedatives hit Voss like water. He could have dosed me any time. Didn't. She tossed the empty syringe at Cade's feet. Ellie Mercer is my personal medic, sworn to my life. You bind your oath to his protection, Praetor, or join Threx. Cade's claws flexed. Seconds ticked. He dropped to one knee. As you command, Supreme. His blood is ours. Warriors echoed the kneel. Rifles lowered. Eli exhaled. Picked up his medkit. Hangers next. Wounded. Incoming. Caliph nodded. Lead. Alarms blared. Deck shuddered. Threx's raiders counterattacked. Cade surged up. Escort forms. Human in center. They moved. Eli flanked by Voss blades. Kylith at point. Corridors ran slick with ichor. Blaster fire cracked ahead. Juno Rake's voice crackled over comms. Shuttle hot in the hangar. Eli, you alive? Barely. Empress secured. Loyalists rallying. Roger. Bay doors jamming. Punching through. They hit the hangar. Chaos reigned. Wounded Voss piled against bulkheads. Limbs crushed. Ichor pooled. Raiders held the far ramp, pouring fire. Cade bellowed orders. Warriors charged. Blades met blasters. Eli dropped beside the nearest downed loyalist. Triage starts now. He scanned vitals. Arterial spray from a leg stump. Tourniquet snapped on. Clotting foam injected. Warrior gasped. Stabilized. Caliph covered him. Her blade severed a raider's arm mid-swing. More wounded dragged in. Eli triaged fast. This one, chest breach. Seal it. Nanopatch slapped on. That one, shrapnel spine, brace and move. Splint locked. Critical. Hypovolemic. Plasma now. Voss warriors paused. Watched. One grunted. Human works faster than autodocs. Another clutched a gut wound. Eli probed. Intestines nicked. Clamp here. He sutured. Warrior flexed. Stood. Grabbed rifle. Bite debt paid. Kade blasted a raider. Glanced back. He saves my kin. Oath holds. Juno's shuttle screamed in. Bay doors buckled open. Ramp dropped. Load 'em. Fleet inbound. 5 mics. Eli waved priority cases. Spine first, then guts. Warriors obeyed. Carried without question. Caliph hauled a berserker twice her size. Eli patched its eye socket en route. Foam sealed. Fight blind if you must. Live first. Berserker rumbled. Human mercy. Rare fire. Raiders massed at the ramp. Threx loyalists. Cyber eyes flared. Kade roared. For Voss! Charge hit. Eli ducked fire. Injected stims into fallen loyalists. They rose. Blades whirled. One warrior took a bolt to the neck. Eli clamped. Hold breath. Sealed trachea. Warrior coughed ichor. Nodded. Returned fire. Caliph cleaved 3 raiders. Bloodied blade dripping. She grabbed Eli's arm. Pulled him toward shuttle. Your skill binds us, not skill, Eli said. Protocol. Patient lives. Mission succeeds. Shuttle ramp hissed shut. Engines thrummed. Hangar exploded behind. Fleet strike hit. Juno banked hard. Strap in. Jump in 30. Eli secured the worst cases. Voss crowded the hold. Eyes on him, no growls now. Respect gleamed. Kade knelt by a warrior Eli had revived. You cut deeper than blades, human. Empress chose well. Kylith sat across, mandibles curved. Fleet channels burn. Threx dead. Rivals scatter, but war turns on trust. Her claw tapped his medkit. Yours earns it. Eli checked a drip. Treat first. Trust follows. Shuttle jumped. Stars streaked. Comms exploded. Voss fleet signatures bloomed. Supreme rallies, Concord unites. A loyalist raised fist. To the human medic! Cheers echoed. Blade saluted. Eli met Kylith's gaze. Her eyes held promise, not just patient. Partner, but Kade's voice cut sharp. Incoming hail. Rival Archon demands parley. Trap? Kylith stood. Answer it. With Mercer at my side. Juno slammed the console. Hale answered, visual on. Threx's hologram snarled into view. Jagged scars twisted his mandibles. Voss, you slink from the docks like vermin. Surrender your pretender throne or my fleet glass your rally point. Kylith stepped forward. Her claws flexed. Eli stayed at her shoulder, medkit slung low. Wounded warriors shifted behind him, eyes locked on the screen. Threx, Kylith said. Your coup reeks of desperation. The Concord rallies. Stand down. Threx laughed, a wet rasp. Rallies to graves. My strike wing hits your station in 60 seconds. Die with your human pet. Screen died. Alarms blared. Juno yanked the stick. Jump complete. Docking at rendezvous station. Hostiles inbound. Shuttle shuddered into real space. The station loomed. A spiked wheel of alloy and lights. Explosions bloomed across its docks. Raider corvettes swarmed like hornets. Brace! Juno yelled. Impact rocked them. Metal screamed. The shuttle clamped to a bay. Ramp dropped. Warriors poured out, blades drawn. Eli grabbed his kit. Kylith yanked him along. Stay close, Mercer. Praetor Cade barked orders. Secure the Empress. Bulkheads to manual. They hit the main corridor. Air howled. Threx's raiders had breached the docks. Decompression ripped through seals. Warriors tumbled, claws scrabbling. Vacuum clawed at lungs. A loyalist spun past Eli, eyes bulging. Eli lunged, snagged his harness, slammed a patch seal on the man's chest wound. Breathe, shallow, the warrior gasped, nodded, fired his rifle into the breach. Kylith cleaved a raider mid-leap. Icor sprayed. She whirled. Bulkheads failing, docks venting. Eli scanned the panel. Red lights pulsed. Threx's sabotage. Override codes locked the doors open. Air whistled out. Bodies floated toward the void. Move! Eli shoved past Cade. Slapped the access port. Wires sparked. He yanked a diagnostic tool. Rerouted power from aux vents. Oxygen hissed back in. Bulkheads groaned shut. 1, 2, 3. The howl died. Warriors stared. Kade's mandibles clicked. Human. How? Field protocol, Eli said. He clamped a gash on a fallen loyalist's leg. Nano-assailant foamed. Seal the breach. Stabilize the patient. Explosions rattled the deck. Threx's voice boomed over station comms. Voss hides in the vents. Flush her out! Kylith snarled. A raider bolt grazed her shoulder. She staggered. Black blood welled, armor cracked. Ellie dropped beside her. Down. Now. She hissed. No time. He ignored her, pressed a hypospray to her neck. Analgesics flooded. He peeled back armor. Wound pulsed. Shrapnel bit deep. Eli extracted with forceps, clamped artery. Injected coagulant. Hold still. You're combat ready in 90 seconds. Her eyes widened. Mandibles trembled. You treat a supreme warrior like this? Treat everyone the same? Eli sealed the wound. Stitched synth skin. Up. Lead them. Kylith rose. Flexed her arm. No limp. She grabbed her blade. Warriors, with me. They charged. Eli followed. Kit bouncing. Cade covered his flank. You mend what blades break, human. Stay alive. Corridors twisted into kill zones. Raiders poured from side bays. Calith blurred. Her blade sang. Heads rolled. A raider lunged at Eli. Cade impaled it. Flank left, Calith roared. Loyalists surged. Ellie patched a warrior mid-stride. Rifle up. The warrior fired. Dropped 2 foes. They hit the command nexus. Threx's guards barricaded the core. Bolts chewed the walls. Calith vaulted cover. For the Concord! She crashed through. Blades whirled. Raiders fell. Eli sealed the bulkhead behind them. Cut off reinforcements. Oxygen stabilized. Warriors breathed free. Threx waited in the chamber, towering, scarred. His honor guard flanked him. Voss, you bring a soft-skinned medic? Pathetic. Calith circled. Your coup ends, usurper. Surrender. Threx lunged. Blades clashed. Sparks flew. He was massive. Strikes like hammers. Calith danced back. Her shoulder flexed perfect. Ellie's work. A guard swung at her blind side. Eli fired his sidearm. Dropped it. Cade nodded sharp. Threx bellowed. Filth, I'll mount your heads. Calith feinted. Drove her blade through his thigh guard. He roared. Swung wild. She ducked. Cade's bolt hit his arm. Warriors piled in. Threx fell to knees, disarmed. Bound in chains. Kyleth stood over him, blade at his throat, alive. For trial, broadcast it. Station comms lit. Threx captured. Voss supreme. Coup crushed. Cheers erupted. Warriors knelt. Fists thumped chests. Katie dragged Threx away, glanced at Eli. Your hands turned the tide, medic. Eli checked Calith's vitals. Just protocol. She sheathed her blade, pulled him aside. Her claw gripped his shoulder, gentle. Mercer, you hid nothing. Sealed my wounds, my station, my warriors. Anyone would. No. Her eyes gleamed. Mandibles curved soft. Humans. Extraordinary. Join me. Seat on my flagship. As chief medic, Eli paused, scanned the hold. Wounded still needed him. Loyalists watched. Hopeful. On one condition, he said. I treat anyone. Loyal. Raider. Doesn't matter. Calith's laugh rumbled. Granted. The Concord heals as one. Juno burst in. Shuttle prepped.
Fleet inbound, but sensors ping.
Threx's reserves jump in. Hidden wing. Calith's claws tightened to the flagship. Mercer, your station awaits. Eli nodded. Grabbed his kit. Warriors parted. Respect in every gaze. Alarms wailed anew. Distant booms shook the deck. Threx's laugh echoed from cells. Reserves will burn you. Calith met Eli's eyes. Ready? Always. He followed her out. The war turned, not on blades alone, but on hands that mended.